All right, guys, what's going on? Today I'll be talking about reverb for blend. And what does that mean? That means that a lot of times we record instruments separately, we do overdubs, or we use samples that are not related to each other, and we end up with a sound of a mix that's a little bit disconnected. Our ears are used to hearing things in a room and just kind of that room just blending it all together, if that makes sense. Just trust me, it's really good for your mix to blend things. Not everything, but some things. Like for instance, in this track I have a bunch of drum parts and a synth part, which by the way I created this snare using Massive on a previous post, and you can check that out. Here's the track. Yeah, so something like that. I put some toms in there to try the blend thing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work on my reverb. And I'm just going to use Ableton's reverb, even though you could probably try some other ones for color and flavor and all that. I'm going to deselect everything. I just like to kind of know what I'm doing or why I'm using something. So everything off. Well, dry, wet, make sure your wet is 100%. And then, and the cool thing about Ableton is you can read on the side, like, see when I put the mouse cursor on pre-delay, if you look right to the left, it explains what pre-delay is. So I'm going to skip that, except for a few things. Pre-delay is important because that kind of tells you how far away the instrument is from a wall or something. So let's try it on just not that snare, for instance. I'm going to mute everything except for that snare. So if you play with a pre-delay, well, let's put the reverb on. See? And sometimes it's cool to have that in tempo with the music. So like, that's cool. I like that. Okay, so now the next thing would be this shape is dealing with the kind of how the reflections decay. So that's like a faster, if I put it all the way up, it's like a faster decay. I think that's cool. Stereo, you know, pretty obvious. It's spreading it. I don't like it spread all, you know, all the way like that, but maybe something more to the center. Actually, it was nice when it was in the middle. Okay. Decay time is important because we can kind of get a sense of how big the room is. That's like an infinite decay. You wouldn't want that. Especially for blend, you want a short decay. So check it out if I adjust the size. See? Even shorter decay. So there you're getting the sense of a big room, but it's short enough that it's not gonna make your mix muddy, if that makes sense. Density, basically, it kind of EQs your reverb a little bit, I guess, or gives it like a color. It's very subtle. You would hear it more with the decay, like. Yeah, a little denser. There, you know, density, denser. I just figured that out. All right, so let's go back to a short decay time. All right, diffusion. Huh. I think that's enough for now. I don't want to make this too long. Scale makes it darker, which is good because we're getting kind of a metallic sound, and we never want that. Almost never. So without the reverb, and of course we wouldn't put it at 100%. So let's start adding in the, you know, some of the instruments. Let's start with the kick. without the reverb. See how they disconnect immediately? Let's add in the hi-hat. Whoa. You want to be subtle with it. It's a very subtle cumulative. Is that correct? It accumulates. Without the reverb. Let's add the toms. Without the reverb. With it. See how it sounds like kind of more pro instantly? Yes. All right, so now let's add this synth, and maybe we can add the reverb, maybe not. If we added, so here's an important thing. If you put the reverb on everything, the side effect of reverb in general is that it pushes things back, so away from the listener. You get some depth. But if you put everything on a reverb, then everything goes back, and your mix sounds kind of far away and not as powerful as some of the things out there today, which sound very in your face. And the trick to having things in your face is to use short reverbs like this that are almost not noticeable, but yet like subconscious, at a subconscious level, they're there. You know, like you notice them when you take it out. Like, see, like I noticed there. Back on. It's very subtle. You make sure you have headphones if you're checking this out, or really nice speakers in a quiet room. Anyway, so where was I going with this? I don't know. I think I'm gonna just leave the synth like that. The next thing is I would probably EQ my reverb, so I'm not gonna deal with this stuff, the diffusion network, input processing, whatever. Earlier, maybe. Could be cool. I'll leave the chorus out. Can we get the EQ here happening? All right. Something I like to do with almost always with reverb is cut all the way up to 350-ish. I don't want any muddy frequencies lingering. So also, some of the harshness of 3K. What's going on there? That's not what I want. That's not what I want either. I just want a normal bell. Yeah. Okay. Without the reverb. With the reverb. All right, it's very subtle, but trust me, it's always there. It's like that little ingredient. It's like cooking, and I don't know. I want to say salt, but it's not really salt. It's more like maybe onions or something. Well, you can taste the onions. I don't have a good analogy right now, but trust me on this one. I hope this was useful, and if you have any comments or any ideas or anything, just write them down in the comment section, you know, of the website, or if this is YouTube, YouTube works too. All right, thanks, guys. Later.